What's up everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a little bit of a venue change. I'm here in the warehouse and creative space that I work in and use, and I've got a bunch of equipment here that I'll be selling off from a prior life when I was a much more involved musician. And so if you're looking for some flight cases, be sure to hit the link below and see what I've got. But that's not what today's video is about. Today's video is about how to cripple the Leica Q2, because this past weekend I actually crippled this thing. How I did it is easily preventable, and you can learn to prevent it today. So here is what happened. I had my usual card in the Leica Q2. I mostly use these Lexar 1667 cards because I think they're fairly affordable. They're not the most high-end cards, but they have a speed of 250 megabytes per second. They are V60 cards, and I have never had a problem whether I'm shooting on the A7R5 like I'm doing today, or I'm shooting on the A7S3. These cards have never failed me, video or photos. I have this same card in the Leica Q2 and in the Leica M10. This is my go-to card. But this past weekend on a shoot, I filled the card up on the Leica Q2, which blew me away because I didn't realize I had taken that many images as I was shooting a portrait session. And when I filled it up, I took the card out and I opened my card case and I popped in this one. This is a Lexar 1066, which is rated for 160 megabytes a second. And this card completely crippled my entire shoot. And I'm gonna show you exactly how it happened. But before that, let me just talk real quick about SD cards because they can be really all over the place. Now I use Lexar and I'm pretty loyal to the brand, but I just went over here into our storage trunk and grabbed a handful of cards that we had sitting inside of it. We've got this SanDisk 16 Extreme 45 megabytes a second card. Here's another one. This is an Extreme Pro at 170 megabytes a second. This is another, oh, it's another Extreme Pro, but this one's only 95 megabytes a second. These cards can be all over the place. The rule of thumb is typically like get the best card you can get, the fastest card you can get, but you don't always need to have like the most insane speeds, but you need something that works for your camera. And I will tell you right now, if you're a Leica Q2 shooter, you need to stay away from anything under 250 megabytes a second. So, okay, enough of me talking. Let me just demonstrate what happened and let you see it for yourself. So we're gonna take a couple of photos of this beautiful Nord Stage 4 right behind me. We'll do a little like portrait session with that. But by the way, that's not my Nord. That's not part of the gear that I'm selling. But we are gonna take some pretty awesome photos of it, I think. And I'm gonna text them to my friend who owns this, and he'll love it because he loves this thing. Okay, so here we go. Here's our first shoot. This is gonna be on the faster card that shoots at 250 megs per second. I'm just gonna click this shutter over and over and over again, and we'll see how the camera does. Let's go ahead and get our autofocus nice and locked in, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The camera responded to every shutter press that I did. All right, this card is the slower one, the 1066 at 160 megs per second. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we're lagging, come on. Look at this. I'm firing, all right, I'm gonna actually count every time I hit the shutter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Look how few shots it's actually taking though. Okay, this is the worst card I could find. It's a SanDisk Extreme 45 megs per second, and I'm gonna count every time I press the shutter. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, up. Oh, there it goes, it's back. 1, 2, 3, come on. Okay, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Look at that. It was only taking like, oh shoot, 1 out of like every 5 photos it was actually shooting and taking. Even though I was like rapidly pressing the shutter, I wasn't actually getting the shots because the card was not keeping up with my pointer finger, which may be problematic if you're shooting fast. Okay, so now you have seen for yourself just exactly how much the card speed matters when you're shooting a camera like the Leica Q2 that's producing these 41 megapixel raw files. They're big files, they're taking time to write, and you can quickly just slow your entire shoot down by not having a fast enough card inside of your camera. Something that I just learned the hard way on this past shoot, and now I'm not even keeping any card slower than the one I always use, the 1667, in my card case anymore. I'm gonna say goodbye to anything below show that and maybe future-proof myself a little bit as I pick up new cards in the future, because it's always good to have several cards in your card case. You never know when one might fail or fill up. You definitely want to have plenty to get you through whatever you're shooting, or even if you're on a multi-day shoot, to have enough that you don't run out of space and have to start worrying about, oh, should I delete this one or that one? Now that kills creativity. So instead, just keep an arsenal of cards. But if you're shooting the Leica Q2, don't get anything below 250 megabytes a second. Now, perhaps you have one and you've never had a problem, and that's totally fine. If you shoot like me, and you can always check out my gallery and see how I shoot, or when you're doing a session or whatever, take note of the card that you have, the speed that it writes at, and the experience you're getting on your Leica Q2. And hopefully, don't cripple it like I did. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and all the other YouTube things, and I will see you next time.